Hello and welcome to the very conflicted Knicks-Verse here. Wow. If you are aware of what happened tonight, it's like polar opposite things happened tonight. The New York Knicks went to Cleveland, and by the 43rd second of the game, Jalen Brunson pulled up with a hurt knee. It was even hard to see if he hit the knee. It looked like there was no contact. Some people are saying there was a little contact, but some people are saying there was contact previously. But he had to leave the game and never returned. And guess what happened? The New York Knicks won the game. They won this game. This was a huge, massive win. Now, so many thoughts were racing through my mind when Brunson got hurt and he left the game, and it looked like, oh no, this could be, ACL. Who knows? I mean, I was in shock. Getting texts and messages from people, but it looks like the X-rays came back and they were negative. So we'll take that for a grain of salt because we know how the Knicks are. I mean, for all we know, he could be getting surgery right now. I mean, that's how they are. They're so mysterious and cryptic about things. But let's get to this part here, because this is the feel-good part of it. The Knicks win 107-98. And Dante DiVincenzo came through with a humongous game. But it wasn't just him. Josh Hart came through with a huge game himself. In fact, let's check out this. Look. This is I pulled this from ESPN's broadcast because I had to listen to that one. And actually I had Monica McNutt and JG on the radio. I was listening to it on the app and watching the game on silent. I had ESPN on silent and listening to her. Look at this. Dante, 28 points, 11 of 22. Bojan, another 20-point game for him. Deuce McBride played the remainder of the minutes. He played 47 minutes and 13 seconds. He played the most of anybody. Followed up by Josh Hart. Josh Hart is not on this graphic right here because his game was unbelievable. Triple-double, 13 points, 19 rebounds, and 10 assists for Mr. Josh Hart. Excellent. And his defense, he was all over the court. Outstanding. Precious Achiuwa, 14 points, 6 of 8. And also can't underestimate, downplay what Jericho Sims provided. And Isaiah Hartenstein as well. He gave us 23 solid minutes tonight, 4 of 7. But we're going to get into all of that. Before we get into the highlights and the breakdown of the game, we're going to go back and review the Jalen Brunson injury first. So, right here, this is what came out midway through the second quarter. Jalen Brunson, sore left knee, is questionable to return. So you're like, oh, wow, questionable. So it wasn't that bad. Huh. But I just didn't buy it. I was like, what is this? What is this? Remember the Aaron Rodgers tweet out? Oh, Aaron Rodgers, questionable, and then guy was gone for the rest of the season. Then this was shown here. So there's a clip. I'm going to show you the clip. I have the clip right here. Let's watch the clip, and then we'll talk about it.
Brunson, his first shot up, and he landed awkwardly.
See that thing fly
and
off?
Immediately grabs at his lower leg, and he stays down on the ground. The Knicks have possession. Brunson tries to get up and immediately goes back to ground.
The whole Knicks season on the brink right there. But look at the foot. Look at his foot. His left foot right here. See?
Sixth in the NBA into the floor.
All right, we're going to see it again. I'm going to turn their volume down. So he turned, yeah. I didn't see any contact at all in that particular moment. Someone said there was contact earlier in that play. I don't have that part of the clip. And in the highlights, they don't even show this play at all in the highlights package. He's like writhing in pain there, holding his knee. Some people were saying it was the ankle. All kinds of crazy stories were coming out. But here you can totally, I think they thought it was the ankle because of the way he couldn't put weight on it, but that's just a condition that happens. I think he hurt his knee either then somehow or when he was trying to get around the screen down on the baseline under the basket. And then we got the ball back, which was indicative of how this game was going to go. Then he just called timeout. Going to watch it one more time, at least the actual injury part, and then we'll move on. I want to see the part. Because sometimes you can nick yourself like there. Down under the basket is probably where he hit his knee at first. And then you can experience a little bit of numbness. And then as you come up, you don't feel anything. And then suddenly the pain starts coming in. All right, let's get back to this doctor. All right, so Eric Friedman, MD, so Landon Sider posted this and then, showed him the video. And he says, thanks for this clip. This is very, very reassuring. His lateral knee gets hit right before Jalen Brunson jumps. Could have caused a peroneal nerve contusion, which gives you a dead leg, and you're not able to lift your ankle up. This is days to weeks injury, usually. Beautiful. Because then, Big Nick Energy here, BKE, tweeted, I don't normally show stuff I can't substantiate myself or correspond myself, but he seems to be dependable here, and he tweeted out, according to our sources, Jalen Brunson's x-rays were clear, and he is supposedly okay. More testing will be done. And he wrote, to clarify my words just a tad bit here, although his x-rays were clear, an MRI will determine any further damage. And then remember with Randall, the x-rays were good, but then the MRI showed, little issue there with the shoulder. I'm told Jalen had shooting pain up and down his legs, so possible peroneal nerve issues here when he and Okoro bumped knees. Okay. Well, if this is true, days to weeks, then the Knicks season has been saved. Because at this moment, when this was happening, when this came out, I was thinking, what's the point of even bringing Julius Randle back? Just let him have his surgery, start resting Hartenstein. All these thoughts were going through my head. It was just like, this was the worst case scenario at this point. But luckily, let's hope that it turns out that what this doctor is saying is what's happening. Because as the evening went on, then Tom Thibodeau confirmed that Jalen Brunson has a knee contusion. Brunson's x-rays came back negative. That is fabulous. And see the ankle turned? Woo! But we definitely need that MRI. We definitely need that. Because when you have a guy like the Big Ragu balling out like this, look at him, 28 points, 6 made three-pointers, 6 rebounds himself, 4 assists, 3 steals. The Knicks had 32 assists tonight. 32. Fabulous. This was a tremendous victory by the Knicks that remained. Those that remained on the court. Hart. Ragu. HART. And McBride and Bojan. And then the other guys that helped out as well. Sims and Precious Achua. That squad right there came through huge. This was a pivotal moment in the season. For one, we only play the Cavs 3 times this year, and we ended up winning the season matchup. Now we 2-1, so that's important. They're above us in the standings, so that's important. If we had lost, we might have fallen down to 5th or 6th, maybe even I'm not sure, but maybe even 7th or 8th. What a relief. What a crazy game. What crazy set of emotions that I'm feeling. And at the same time, when I'm watching the game, I wasn't like so focused on the game that much for at least the next quarter and a half after the injury. By halftime, I was starting to get into it, and then that's one thing. At halftime, the Knicks had built up a nice little lead, and then at halftime, they gave it up. The Cavs were up by 1 point. I think it was 52. What was the score at halftime? The score was 53 to 51. So I was a little worried. Then we came out a tiny bit flat at the beginning of the second half, and then they went on a nice run, created some distance, but the Cavs kept fighting back. They came back and even tied the game, but then big timely buckets were hit. We're going to get into that. Let's go to, before that, look at this. Josh Hart, 13 points, 19 rebounds, 10 assists. Awesome. This is a perfect Josh Hart type of game. He actually became the leader on this team once Brunson went down. The ball was often in his hands. He was running the offense. I got to say, this was a surprise to me that he was so composed. And that just shows his heart. He is perfectly named. This guy, I mean, he is a dog. He is perfect for a Thibodeau team. Perfect. I wish he would hit those fadeaway middies more consistently or not take them. He makes the ones when he gets to the center of the key and he's facing the basket head on. He makes those somewhat at a decent clip, but all the other ones he fits. But he hit like a step back three or even a side step. I can't remember which one. It was in a corner side step three. It was a huge 3-point bucket. All right, let's get into the highlights now. So as you can see Brunson right there. He comes up, and now we don't see. This is the beginning of that play. They cut it out, the injury out of the highlights. I don't know why. But at this point, the team is just trying to do whatever they can. Dante hits a big bucket there. Let's see how they start off here in the first quarter. The Knicks ended up winning that first quarter by 9. They were 28-19 as they went into the second quarter. And Dante, a lot of it was Dante DiVincenzo, and he played all 12 minutes. Josh Hart played all 12 minutes, and Deuce played the remaining 11 minutes and 13 seconds of that quarter. And they provided 12 points, Dante, 6 points for Josh Hart, and 8 points for Deuce. And okay, so one thing, I'm kind of like frazzled here. I'm kind of scattered because of what happened and all the information that's like flying at me. Look at that beautiful boom. God, he has such a beautiful stroke. And once the Knicks started hitting those 3-pointers, the Knicks were 6 of 11 in that first quarter, 54.5% from the 3-point line. Excellent, because they were only 5 of 12 inside the arc in the paint. But look at, so there was no Donovan Mitchell and no Karis LeVert. They both sat out. Let's see, what was the reason? They actually, there's no reason here on this report here, but nursing an injury or something of some kind. Here. Injury, illness, LeVert right elbow sprain, and Donovan Mitchell injury, illness, left knee soreness. So he sat out. That was the thing. What was that? Oh, this is dirty. And that was a Disneyfication of Bob Marley's. All right, forget that. So here we go. We're into the second quarter. Second quarter, the Knicks did run out a little bit of a gas. Again, Deuce played the entire second quarter, and so did Bojan. And Bojan provided 10 points in that second quarter. He hit 5 of 6 of his field goal attempts. He did not even attempt a 3-point shot in that second quarter. Alec Burks came in. He played 7 minutes. He put up 1 shot attempt, and he did hit 3 free throws. I think he was fouled. I can't remember that moment there. I don't know. He was 3 of 4 from the free throw line. I picked up 1 rebound, 1 assist there. But Josh Hart was just racking up the assists all night long. So here we go. Beautiful. This was a key inbound play right there. Because it did look like, here, the Cavs are coming back a little bit. Here we go. Look at Bojan. Nice kiss off the glass. Beautiful. In here, Garland torturing us. Now, you would have thought, Darius Garland would have come up huge in this game, considering that there's no Donovan and there's no Karis. And he did have a good game. 19 points, 5 of 8 from the 3-point line, 7 of 14 overall. But in a game like this, when you're battling the New York Knicks, the team that sent you home last year, you should be putting up 29, maybe 39. You shouldn't have not role players, but, in essence, Dante is a starter, but he is kind of a role player starter. He, outscored him, and so did Bojan, outscored him. Beautiful. Deuce ended up with 16 points himself, 4 of 9 from the 3-point line for Deuce. Dante was 6 of 14 overall from the 3-point line. Bojan didn't have a good 3-point shooting game for himself. He was 1 of 6 tonight, but overall he finished with 20 points himself. I did pick, and he had 3 assists. Isaiah Hartenstein was the leader in assists for a majority of the game. He ended up with 8 until Josh Hart came through big in that third quarter and in the second half, really. Look at this. Look at this. Beautiful reverse. I love that. That was gorgeous. So this is it. Now, okay, so the game was tied, and this is when the Knicks start creating some space right there. Good alive hands. Beautiful. Look at that. That's perfect. You couldn't draw it up better. Deuce had, he was guarding Darius most of the night. He did a good job. Because he also forced the ball out of Darius's hands. Even though when Darius did shoot, he was efficient. He just didn't put up as many attempts as he probably should have. Here's a key moment. The Knicks have a nice little, 6-point cushion here, and then a nice reverse by Josh Hart. Just would not give it up. The third quarter, let's get those points here for the third quarter in the Knicks. The Knicks third quarter, they put up 36 points. They outscored them by 11 in that third quarter, 36-25. Knicks shot 50% from the 3-point line in that third quarter, hit all of 3 of their free throws. There weren't that many free throws taken in this game. It was interesting. And the Knicks even won one of the challenges. Let's see here. Dante DiVincenzo in the third quarter lit the Cleveland Cavaliers up for 16 points. And they were trying everything. Everything. I think JB Bickerstaff should be concerned himself about this situation. Right now, the Cavs are either second seed or third seed. They were playing unbelievably well. But if they can't beat at home in Cleveland, if they can't beat a team that is missing their 2 All-Stars and their, incredible center, Mitch Robinson, and they're probably all defensive forward in OG Anunoby, 4 guys. And then you talk, and 5 guys when you consider Brunson. And you can't beat this team? You can't blow them out of your arena? Something's up. Either Thibs just has the book on JB's team and how his tendencies, how he's going to coach, or he just needs to light a fire under these guys. That was a nice little play there. But at this point, so it's only a 3-point game. It was tight. And this is the three-pointer. The three-pointer. This was huge. Huge right there. But I think this one was even bigger. This is the one that broke the camel's back, and the Knicks never looked back. Yes. 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 Wow. Wow. What a crazy, crazy game. This tells me that this Knicks team really does legitimately have that shot to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. If this squad missing 5 key players can come out and give you this kind of performance against one of the top teams in the East that they will most likely face in the playoffs, this is why Julius Randle wants to come back this year. This is why he wants to come back and play through pain. This is why OG had the surgery so he can come back earlier. This is why Mitch is doing all he can to come back early, or than we thought he was going to. We thought he was gone for the rest of the season, because this team has all the makings of making it. Honestly, if a few things go their way, I know what happened today with Boston and Golden State was just flabbergasting. They just crushed, annihilated the Golden State Warriors by 50 points. That's what Boston did. That's how good they are. But in some ways, that's what Cleveland should have done to us. Maybe not as dramatic, but if we had lost this game by 20, 25 points, I would not. I'd be sitting here saying, hey, what can you do? You lose your best player. The guys were in shock. We're already down so many players, and we're going up against, a couple of all-stars, Mobley and Garland and all this stuff. But that's not the narrative. That's not what happened. What happened was this team, every single player on this team, on the squad, the ones that played tonight, stepped up. Mostly, except for Alec Burks. Alec Burks, once again, let's get into those stats here. Let's roll through this here. Alec Burks, I had those backwards. Alec Burks, 11 minutes, 8 points, 1 assist. 11 minutes. Look at Deuce's minutes, 47 minutes. Now, Alec Burks, he was, remember, he was, unfortunately, he was our starting point guard for the second half of that season 2 years ago, when it should have been IQ. IQ, who had a great game tonight, and the Raptors with RJ, without Scotty Barnes, beat the Charlotte Hornets. Not that that's a great feat, but, he should have been the starting point guard 2 years ago. I always keep saying that. But Alec Burks was. And Alec Burks was here to provide some leadership when he's on the court, some ball handling, get guys in their right spots. It's not happening. He is really, really struggling. I'm hoping that he can kind of shake out of it, but if he can't, the beautiful thing is that Deuce McBride is stepping up and providing he is providing what we thought Burks was going to provide. I'm so happy for Deuce. I'm happy for him because he's worked hard for it, and he's got his payday. His 3 for $13 million, 3 years for $13 million. And then Jericho Sims, even though there's no buckets here, his 6 rebounds, 21 points. He played great defense, played some excellent defense on Mobley and Jared Allen. He had those guys confused. And same with Isaiah Hartenstein and Achua. How many blocks were in the game? Actually, the Knicks only got credited for 2 blocks. Oh, no, that was the third quarter. That was the third quarter. The Knicks got credited for 9 blocks, 2 by Josh Hart, 3 by Precious, 2 by Jericho Sims, and Dante got a block, and Isaiah Hartenstein got 1 block. And Isaiah Hartenstein isn't even, he's still kind of like, dealing with his Achilles. So he's managing it. If he, if Mitch could come back a little earlier, and then Thibs could just rest Isaiah Hartenstein for like a good 2 weeks. I think that's what he needs, another 2 weeks, and then he can come back and he can be ready for the playoffs, because that's what we need. We want that 1-2 tandem, and we may not be able to afford them for next season. So let's take advantage of the situation we're in now, but it's going to require rest. The only thing that can really help Isaiah Hartenstein improve is rest. So the only way he can get that is if Mitch comes back a little earlier at this point, or Thibs just decides to just sit him and we just deal with Sims and Precious as the center. And who knows, maybe Leon will pick up somebody else to come in, a Taj type, but not Taj, somebody who can, Taj, unfortunately, he looked a little bit, it looked like his days were over as an NBA center in the NBA, as a center in the NBA. You can tell I'm still a little rattled here. Bojan, 8 of 15. Nice game for him. This was a good game for him. He played 30 minutes. See, Bojan did what he was brought in to do, and his defense was decent enough. But when you're providing, 52% shooting and 20 points and 3 assists, and you're even picking up a couple of steals. Oh no, he didn't get a steal. That was steals. Dante DiVincenzo, 3 steals. 2 steals for Precious, 2 steals for Josh Hart. And I thought Deuce got a steal too. No, that was they gave it to Jericho Sims. All right, I'm all over the place here. Here's the Cleveland Cavaliers. I see they started Mobley, Okoro, Jared Allen. They had the Twin Towers there. Garland and Strus, who hit that tremendous, the second longest game-winning shot in the history of the NBA earlier this week. He came through with 6 points tonight. That's how good the defense was of the Knicks. Wade, no points for him. The guy who did hurt us was Sam Merrill, and he is an outstanding three-point shooter. He's kind of like their version of Dante. He just is unbelievable. He can light it up, but Dante's more versatile than him. Dante's a much better player than Merrill in general. But in his 29 minutes, he gave them 21 points. He was their leading scorer. Jared Allen, 8 of 13, 18 points for him. 13 rebounds for Mobley, 13 points for him, and 6 assists. The three-point shooting, they were 17 of 44 overall, 38.6%. Not, atrocious, but the Knicks ended up 41% overall, 16 of 39, and they were beautifully, beautifully much needed. But the 32 assists, I love that. And the Knicks won the rebounding battle, 47 to 39. The Knicks out-rebounded 2 7-footers. Yep. Here are the team comparisons. As you can see, the Knicks shot overall tonight beautiful, almost 49% overall. Look, it wasn't a parade to the free throw line, and it was actually, what a relief. This is the first time I believe we've seen a game where the combined total of free throws for both teams was under 20. That is a relief. It wasn't like stoppage of game, going to the free throw line and arguing all this stuff and whining. No. It was, they let them play, and the teams played intelligent type of basketball as well. Free throws, look at them. They missed 5 free throws. They had 8, they missed 5, 37.5%. And a lot of that, I think, is Jared Allen. I don't think he's a good, Jared Allen was 2 of 4. And Mobley was 1 of 3. Okoro missed his 1 free throw. Darius Garland didn't go to the free throw line at all. Either the Strauss, no other Cavs went to the free throw line other than Okoro, Mobley, and Allen. The Knicks got more blocks than the 2 7-footer Twin Towers of the Cleveland Cavaliers, 9 to 5. More steals, more assists, points in the paint. The Knicks won that battle, 42 to 38, and they won the fast break battle. They won every single major important statistical category tonight, and they outplayed the Cleveland Cavaliers. And they won 107 to 98 to prove to the NBA world this team ain't going nowhere. We just got to get our guys back. We got to start winning some games. Fuck the 6th seed. I want that 3rd seed. I want home field advantage. I want home court advantage. That's what I want. And this team is showing me that it has the players to do it. It has the mentality, the camaraderie, and the passion to do it. I am so excited, but at the same time, I'm terrified because of the Brunson situation. We won't know. We won't know until they do the MRI. So hopefully, by this time tomorrow, we'll have some greater clarity. Whew. Thank you so much for watching this. My name is George. Please subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and share this video. Please, I would appreciate that tremendously. Turn on a notification bell so you're alerted when I drop a video. And please drop your comments. I want to hear your thoughts and feelings. I want to hear what you were thinking when he went down and had to be, escorted off the court, carried off the court. He did walk with his right foot, but man, he had to be helped off. It was... sports. All right, I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.